If you're watching me right now, chances are you've lost your voice. You're not alone. So I don't want you to feel like you're a failure, or I don't want you to feel like something was wrong with you. We live in a society that the outside noise is way louder than ours, and it's easy for us to just stay disconnected. If you add your 9 to 5, your daily responsibilities with your household, your kids, your husbands, at the end of the day, we're just humans. Guess what we do? We get so used to living on an autopilot mode. And for years, we've been doing this. For years, we've been taking care of all those long to do lists to the point where we got used to not listening to ourselves. But my hope on today's video is to make you feel seen. Secondly, is to reconnect with yourself one more time because she needs you. I'm going to be sharing some practical, real tips that can help you reconnect with yourself. I know you can do this, mom. And don't be so hard on yourself because the fact that you are trying to find ways to reconnect with yourself, that one alone is already you winning. Before we move any further, let's just find out why do we get to the point where we lose ourselves? Simple, especially if you're a mom. Because if you think about it, you wake up and the first thing that comes to your mind is everybody else's needs but yourself. In a sense, society has taught us that being a good mom means putting everybody else's needs before yours. If you add that plus or 9 to 5 plus life situations, because even if you have the best job ever, you're so happy with your job environment, but the fact that you still have to get up every day and go there and perform because it's all about that performance, we need to be intentional about actually finding out what's in here, get connected with ourselves and make it a habit. The same way you wake up and you brush your teeth, hopefully you do, we need to have that routine to reconnect with ourselves. Because what happens is we get into this trap of go, 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 go. The dinners, the school needs, this person is sick, or this person needs my help with a baby shower, or at work, your boss needs this new project. The list goes on and on to the point where you get so used to that, that obviously, since it's an external demand, you are in a sense obligated to deliver. But when it comes to yourself, you can pause it. You can be like, okay, you know what, Ollie, we can talk later. I want to be clear here. I'm not saying that it's bad to take care of everybody else's needs. That's not what I'm saying, not at all. Because as moms, sometimes actually we do take pride. It's our job to take care of our family members. But what I'm saying here is if you get to the point where everybody else's needs comes before yours, then you lose yourself. But your kids, they're going to become adults. They're going to have to go and live their own lives. And you're going to have to stay with yourself. Having those habits now to actually have dates with yourself, to go through your thoughts and listen to yourself one more time. Get to enjoy who you are. Learn what you like, what you no longer like. Because this is the thing. As we evolve in life, it's okay to become a new version of yourself. It's okay to dislike what you used to like. It's okay to like new things. But how are we going to find out about those things? We're going to find out about it if we do spend time with ourselves. Easier said than done, I know, because for our busy lives, it's easier to just drop the ball. But this is your wake-up call not to do that, because you deserve to live. You deserve to enjoy life, not just on autopilot mode, getting things done. That's about it. That's not a life we want. And I want to commend you because the fact that you're looking for answers means you're ready to take action. My hope in this video is to give you some real tips that you can actually start implementing today to start reconnecting with that version of yourself that you crave so much. Before we go any deeper, let's start with the most important question. Why have you lost yourself? What happens into our life to the point where we I no longer know who I am? The answer is very easy these days because you tend to watch people living their life. Social media these days demands on how you should look, how you should behave, how you should dress, how much you should have on your bank account. Everybody on social media knows better than you. Everybody knows how you should raise your kids. Everybody knows how you should get your hair done. Everybody knows how your nails should look like. Everybody knows how your house should look like. My point here is that we're so used to listening to the outside noise that obviously if you're not intentional about keeping in touch with your own, it's easy to get lost. I don't want you to feel any type of way because I'm guilty of this. A lot of people are. But the fact that you're looking for ways to reconnect with yourself, that's already a win. One thing we need to keep in mind, which I'm sure you already experienced, the cost of ignoring our voice brings a lot of resentment, brings a lot of burnout, brings a lot of sadness, and makes you feel like you're a failure. Because when you're not connected with yourself, when you don't know who you are, when you don't know what you want, you don't have those things clear, everything around you seems to be the cause of your issue. You might start feeling invisible. You might start losing yourself to the point where anybody can tell you whatever about yourself, you're just going to believe it. That's a very dangerous place to be because sometimes it causes you even to lose confidence in yourself. I don't want that for your mom because at the end of the day, for someone who is so busy taking care of other people, you deserve to take care of yourself as well. It's very important for you to know who you are because guess what happens? When you know who you are, it doesn't matter what happens around you, you're going to stand strong. You've probably seen a lot of videos out there talking about how to reconnect with yourself. And most of the time, they offer you these big things that you must buy or you must do to reconnect with yourself. I'm here to tell you, most of our inner work only needs one thing, yourself, and that's it. Now, you might ask yourself, what can we do to finally tone down the outside noise and start listening to ours? And this stage is very important for us to be very honest with yourself. You can listen to different people telling you different things, but unless you actually go ahead and take practical actions to tackle that issue, guess what happens? Nothing. You might be tempted to buy that new planner that has all the beautiful stickers, but unless you actually do something about it, it's just going to be collecting dust. With that being said, these are the few steps you can start implementing right now to start reconnecting with yourself. Number one is to take a few pauses during the day. The point here is to take a few seconds throughout your day several times to send that signal to your brain that I'm alive, I'm here. The next one would be to start journaling. The power of journaling takes a lot of pressure out of your brain and you put it on paper. That's important because sometimes we can spend so much time up there and feel overwhelmed, feel exhausted. But when we write things down, when we put everything onto paper, we get some type of clarity. One of the things why we no longer hear our voice is because our brain is busy. The moment we start taking things out by writing things on our notebook, guess what? We start getting some space up there. And while we have that space, maybe we can start listening to ourselves one more time. I know at the beginning, especially if you've never done it, it's going to be a little bit uncomfortable. And if you need any help, I have a priority classification guide that I'm going to be linking down below. It has some prompts that can help you in this process. I actually have some templates designed for you to dump all your stuff in there and then organize your ideas so that you don't have to be guessing. 3 minutes, 5 minutes is all you need. After you're done with that, you can ask yourself a few questions like, okay, how am I feeling right now? What do I need right now to be happy? What is one thing that if I could accomplish today would make me feel a little better about myself? Simple stuff, and go with that. You might be surprised. When I started doing it, I noticed that I was very exhausted physically. And to me, having 10-20 minutes by myself, just going through my thoughts, helped me reconnect with myself. I started listening to myself a little bit more. It might be, let me have a cup of tea by myself without mommy this, mommy that. It might be, I want to take a walk to the mall, just to window shopping. You need to find what works for you. The sooner you start acting on your own life, despite whatever the outside world is demanding of you, the better. The next tip is to create sacred times, maybe 15 minutes. This one is a game changer. Me, every morning when I wake up, I have my good 30 minutes for myself. I don't care what's going on, it's my 30 minutes. Whoever wakes up before my 30 minutes is over, that's that person's problem. Don't call me, don't ask me for anything, don't even tell me good morning at this point. I know I'm being extreme. 30 minutes way before everybody wakes up is easier, especially if you have little ones. They don't care about boundaries. You need to take a break because you can't just keep going on and on and on and expect yourself to be all the time ready. It doesn't work like that. So I know you've been doing it for the longest, but here are we, right? We're exhausted, we're overwhelmed. So it's time to stop and start taking care of ourselves. At the beginning, it's not going to be easy. Your husband can fight you over that. Your kids might look at you, what are you trying to do? Don't worry about it. What did we say? We have to focus on ourselves because we're trying to reconnect with ourselves. For us to do that, we need to silence anything else. Even your kids, silence them. Put them on mute while you're working on yourself, because the better you know yourself, the better mom you can become, the better wife you can become. Now, let's move to the next one. This is a big one. It's going to be very hard, which is to set boundaries. Yay! You need to learn how to set boundaries. Do you know why your mind is so overwhelmed? Because you're taking everything. Most of the things that you're taking, they don't even belong to you. So you become overwhelmed. You say yes to things you don't care about, but now you're forced to deliver because you already committed. Everything does not align to where you're trying to go, the peace you're trying to achieve, the goals you're trying to achieve can go to bed. With that, you have to learn to say no. Respectfully, but say no. Because at the end of the day, if you say no to dedicate that time back to yourself, is a win. That person at the beginning maybe won't understand it, but maybe down the line, they start seeing results on you. Maybe now, because of having a better clarity, you're starting to, I don't know, maybe work out, you're physically losing weight, you're physically looking healthy, your mindset is healthier. Maybe you start working on a project, maybe the income is coming back on green. The list can go on. They're gonna notice. All started with what? With you dedicating time back to your voice. Because this is the truth. Nobody would know you better than yourself. We all have versions of what we think you are, but it's your responsibility to actually know exactly who you are. It's okay if nobody else understands it, as long as you do. All these tips for pick one. If it is taking a few breaks during the day to reconnect with yourself, setting 15 minutes apart, maybe early in the morning or before bed. If it's setting boundaries, choose one for and stick to that. But the sooner you start doing that, the better. But the most important one of all is to choose your surroundings carefully. What do I mean by that? If I'm trying to listen to my voice, what I'm going to do is reduce the volume of every other noise. If you're having issues comparing yourself with people online that seems to be doing better than you, then maybe mom, reduce the volume there. If you don't feel pretty enough because you've been watching people on social media looking skinny, that maybe you should start there. If you feel your hair doesn't look pretty, maybe you should start there. What I'm trying to say here is that for you to finally start listening to your voice one more time, reduce your time on social media. You spend so much time scrolling on social media, it's not going to help you. That's the time that we can use back to ourselves. Before you know it, you'll be becoming the best version of yourself. Implementing simple but practical tips that can help your mom. Because if you're mentally stable, your family will benefit. If you're happy, your family will benefit. If you know who you truly are, your family will benefit. Work on yourself one step at a time. No rush, but we still have to get going. Mom, if you like anything I said today, please, from the bottom of my heart, help me share this message with other moms out there. Help me like the video, comment down below. See you on my next one. Bye.